Meta Madness round robin continues, everybody. We're going to Infernal Shrines. We have 3 maps coming up between the Gremlins and the Nameless Kings. This is a bit of a bang of a series. Essentially, we're very early in the round robin still, but these teams are more or less fighting for the #1 spot for the time being. We have 7 teams in total, full round robin. Each series contains 3 maps. It's not a best of 3, it's not a best of 5. 3 maps are always getting played out, and every map gets the team that wins a point. So this is what the ranking will then be based on at the end, and the top teams make it into the playoffs, and also the higher up you are in the standings, then the better the position for the playoffs. So you might even be able to skip around there. But at this point, we now have within Infernal Shrines our first map. 11 heroes are, by the way, fully banned. You can see them down here for the duration of the tournament, and every single hero can only be played once. So as the series progresses, we get more and more heroes perma-banned. By the way, the number of pre-bans hinges on sub-goals on the Twitch stream, as I already explained before. So this might change for the playoffs as we go through the round robin. This number might increase if we get more subscribers on Twitch. And if you're watching this on YouTube right now, if you join the channel as a member, if you click that join button underneath the video player and support the channel through that, then every single one that adds up right now is also going to get counted directly into this. So you can support the channel and the tournament by joining up. And again, it will increase the number of heroes that get fully banned. In total for the tournament, we have 2,000 euros of prize money. I actually put that up for myself. Meta Madness has always been my baby, and now we are in the 9th iteration already. So I put the prize pool up for this one. Next one is even going to be a full anniversary. If we run another Meta Madness, then it will be number 10. For game number 1 in the series at hand, we have insta-bans against Ubi. Ubi's Maiev and Zeratul are both getting banned here, and honestly, after the games that we already saw from them in the tournament, I think this should be an absolutely wild one. The Gremlins did great, and they also had a strong performance in previous tournaments. And then on the other side, you have, of course, the Nameless Kings, which have been dubbed the Ultra Raccoons, which is surprisingly fitting, to tell you the truth. We're starting with an attempt at a global strategy, I'd say, with Brightwing and Falstad. The Haga is, of course, already perma-banned for the tournament. You could play ETC with Stage Dive if you wanted to have something to counteract the global presence of the red team. But with Chromie taken first, it's more likely we're going to get a bit of a sniper comp. Still curious what Mops is going to pick. He could pick ETC, and he does pick ETC. So we indeed get the ETC pick. Question that comes with it is simply, will we get Mosh Pit, or is he actually going to commit to a Stage Dive for this? Rhaegar for the heals for Banana. And for the next few bans, kind of intrigued to see what exactly is getting banned out by the blue team. I would love if they just now go for a Carrigan ban, for example. Just like ban out everything that could be aggressive in a shrine fight and try and get rid of it. And Ubi, of course, then has to deviate away from this too. Leo gets banned. So already eliminating some of that extra presence on the shrines that can give you the extra wave clear 2 in the slow. Gul'dan, okay, so he gets the axe in this case. Normally taken to get the extra AoE damage on the shrines too. When we're talking mages, Mephisto still comes to mind. Kel'Thas sometimes even getting played in this context. But we're still in game number 1. Malthael, alright. Ubi on Malthael, and we get Muradin. And do I remember this correctly? Didn't Ubi play Malthael the last time that they played Infernal Shrines and walked away with 5 or 6 stacks towards the end and absolutely crushed this? Or am I mixing the teams up right now? We had a lot of games over the last few days, so not 100% certain if I remember this correctly. But yes, Malthael, the choice for him. Let's see if he's able to get some of those last rites through, assuming that that's what they're choosing. Tracer for Gavlo, always dangerous in his hands. And we get Samuro for Sadath. I like it. So, game number 1 is already promising to be a bit of a highlight here. And as we're progressing through the series, more and more heroes will be eliminated, which should make for some potentially crazy picks. But it still leaves us with the final choice for the red team. Morena still has to choose as we're going into game number 1 of the series. And, well, they could go for another range damage dealer or just add more frontline and go for a triple frontline with Carrigan right now. So we get our Carrigan. After all, Infernal Shrines, everybody, it is map number 1, the Nameless Kings going up against Gavlo's Gremlins. The Gremlins in blue on the left side of the map. We got Gavlo himself, the captain on Tracer. Banana H with Rhaegar. Nano is playing one of his best. He is playing Chromie. His Hanzo, of course, permabanned for the tournament. We got Mopsy on ETC and Sadath on Samuro. Over on the right side of the map, the opponents, the Nameless Kings, the Ultra Raccoons. With Lopaka on Mirrodin, we got Scorch on Brightwing, Ultralisk is playing Kerrigan, Morenas on Falstad, and Ubi on Malthael. A dangerous triple front line that gets played by the Kings, and we'll see how far this is going to take them here. Now, again, the reminder, every single map matters. Every map equals 1 point, so you can never relax, even when you're taking a lead in the series. You have to make sure that you're giving your all on every single one of them. But at this point, we're now having topside already, our Samuro Rhaegar duo. It's full smoke time. And Gavlo just rushing through the bottom of the map. He's going to be interesting here. He has a lot of stuns against him, of course, but with good mobility, he could dodge out a lot of that. Gavlo is always a huge threat when he is able to play that particular hero, and yeah, we'll see how far that goes. I mean, right now we just have some camps that are being focused on. The red team is trying to walk away with 2 out of the 3. In addition to that, we still have the blue team rotating down, hoping to arrive there in time to interrupt this, but yeah, not happening. With level 4, we get the Andoral Anomaly. Chromie already nibbling at the hit point pool of Kerrigan. And yeah, Ultralisk. I want Shrine fights. I mean, with this kind of lineup, I honestly want as soon as possible Shrine fights where we have a potential 5 versus 5. With the first objective, you can always try and play around it a bit and don't have to necessarily commit to the Shrine. But the battles will be fun later on. And Mopsio, he has to also be very, very careful. Can have a massive impact, obviously, with ETC as all of this continues, but then at the same time, you need to be mega careful as well, because ETC is not necessarily the most hit point heavy tank, so you have to be careful how you play this out, or you're getting murdered quickly. But, well, right now we are having topside Samuro still doing a bit of work against Falstad. In the middle of the map, yep, Chromie firing away with Samuro picking up deflection on level 4. And the first objective will be announced soon, as Rhaegar and Mirrodin are clashing a bit at the bottom of the map. Ubi is, as usual, throwing some shade with his level 4 talent, and it seems that the blue team is even considering an invade. They're going for Falstad. Brightwing to the rescue, but that was a nice little play. First of all, they were getting aggressive around this, and second of all, that was a pretty interesting attempt to take Falstad out when it worked really, really well. So, at this point, we have, yeah, not a single kill on the board. Objective is announced and will soon pop in. Banana Age defending or attacking at the bottom of the map with Mirrodin trying to defend here. Spray game on point, I like it. But yeah, let's go. I want a full-on fight. Falstad, defend the top lane a little bit and then fly down. This should be good. So at this point in time, we have Banana Age starting to do his thing. Obviously, they are locking slowly but steadily points in on the objective, and the red team is offering no resistance. They might finally start to make a bit of a play here, but it doesn't really seem like they're too interested at a full-on team fight, and instead just push these lanes a bit. So this is going to be a freebie for the Gremlins. They're going to walk away with the Mortar Punisher. Still defending the top lane too, and as they're starting to move towards the middle, yeah, that's a pretty anticlimactic first objective in favor of the Gremlins. I want my team fight. Give me some battles. Maybe on the defense we're gonna get one. Oh, there's the combo there. Nicely done by Nano, but he might still die. ETC with a slide. And this is Malthael hoping to at least get a kill, as he was probably consigned to him falling too. But they're getting another Stormbolt out. Banana H gets attacked. They want Rhaegar. They couldn't go for Chromie, so Rhaegar gets eliminated instead. And that's the hit right there. First blood in the game. Rhaegar is gone. And that is kill number 1. Well done. They still lost the wall at the bottom of the map, but they didn't lose the fort. They didn't even take damage, any serious damage on it. So that was a pretty good defense. So, job well done. Still, I mean, again, it's not really a big lead or anything. Both of the teams are going to hit 8 at the same time. But considering that they gave up the objective, it's quite nice to see that the Kings were able to split out onto the lanes, make up for the experience loss, and now they're picking up a second kill too. They're taking down Tracer. But the counter kill is there. Scorch gets murdered too. All of a sudden, it's 2 kills versus 2. The Gremlins showing their teeth right there. Somebody doused them in water. That's the only thing that explains all of this. They were a little bit peaceful and nothing really happened. The red team locking their kills in. And somebody must have sprinkled a little bit of water on them because they went full feral and were starting to take kills and fight this one back. So at this point, we're having over on the right side, the next camp being taken. Top side, this is where Samuro again makes the play against Falstad. Down at the bottom, though, the fights continue, and in this case, they are aiming for Tracer again, but Gavlo is able to move out. Lopaka is a little bit low, has to be careful, and Muradin gets murdered. ETC also gone. It's a kill for a kill. It's starting to be an absolute bloodbath down here. They're really at it. The blue team with a slight leading experience now on top of all of that. But the aggression that we saw initially from the Kings is starting to backfire a bit on them. So, ETC picks stage dive. That means that even if Falstad goes full macro mode, they can counter that to an extent. We have Illusion Master for Samuro. And now what we need is heroic abilities for the red team. Falstad escaping at the top, but there's 3 heroes for the Gremlins that are trying to take some of the structures down. Last rites, Muradin with Avatar. Ultralisk takes the Ultralisk as you would expect. And off we go. There's the attack right there as they're starting to make a move on that. And, well, that's, of course, a parity in deaths, but off comes the next Shrine. So, Shrine is in. 3 kills to 3. Stormbolt missing. Nice dodge also from Zerdath. I mean, again, if you're losing a hero right now, then that's a problem. Lopaka is getting targeted next, but with Avatar, he's going to be able to escape here. Chrome is still trying to get the burst damage out as Lopaka is getting stopped, attempting to jump out. ETC with a slide. Kerrigan gets targeted and taken down, and that's kill number 4 now for the Gremlins right there. Well done. The blue team definitely starting to gain momentum now. So they are sitting at level 11.5. And they're doing pretty darn okay now. The first objective was, of course, given up earlier. That's where the red team didn't even want to fight. But now the situation has changed. And in this case, they were shut down very early on, which will guarantee the blue team another Punisher. So they're going to get another one here. Damage output so far, 13,000-14,000 for Tracer. We have 12,000 for Falstad. But it's not really flowing well enough for the blue team. I'm sorry, for the red team. Blue team is gaining good momentum. And they're playing this one well. Top side, Samuro has started to move this one out in the middle of the map. They're now showing up in force to try and take this one out. So towers get slowly eliminated. And this is going to be maybe even a 4, depending on how aggressive they are around this. The red team is trying again, but the Kerrigan combo interrupted here. So nice job from the supports and also from ETC. Being absolutely aware of the threat and sliding out right away. They're doing pretty good here. But the defense is still holding. So on the one hand, you have the objective taken out for the second time by the Gremlins. And they have established a lead in experience. On the other, the Kings are definitely in a spot where their defense is still holding. So it's not completely breaking. There's a level 13 advantage now for the Gremlins. This is unlikely going to give them too much. They might push for the bot lane, but I would assume that the red team can still defend here. Falstad dying at the top to Samuro. That's obviously a bit of a setback. Zerdath was going up against Ultralisk 2. They were trying to trap him, and instead the birdie is down. The push at the bottom of the map is eliminating the fort, or will, because there's just not enough defenders here, and the aggression is coming. They're going for Lopaka too. Gavlo's Gremlins with mad aggression right now, and they're looking strong here. A 4 destroyed, the first one to fall, but that leading experience is now being extended, and this is starting to become difficult for the Nameless Kings. So, 13 about to be ready. then they can fight on even footing again. But, yeah, they need a good team fight. They need a good third objective. As long as the blue team doesn't pick up a level 16 talent in that time frame, they're going to be fine here. Bronzebeard Rage is up. We also get the Chrysalis for Kerrigan. And off we go. I mean, right now we have Mopsio at the top, still sitting very much so alone. Down at the bottom, Samuro is still, or in the middle, Samuro is still a bit annoying with his illusions. I mean, he's going to be a pain in the butt in the late game anyway. Samuro has already had an impact in this game, a pretty significant one. But once that the map opens up even further, they have so much potential here. So, Mopsio gets attacked. They're trying to isolate him here. Stage dives out, and the Gust is a second too late. Oh, that sucked. Mopsio actually jumped down to the bottom of the map, going up against Kerrigan down here. Ultralisk was trying to get that kill, but couldn't. But that Gust could have ruined the day for them. But just a little bit too late here. So, 5 kills to 3. 16, not there yet, but they could get it for the next objective if they diligently soak the lanes and not lose anybody here. Mopsio, they want him, but the last rites just doesn't do enough damage, and Rhaegar was quickly there with an Ancestral as well. So a lot of ults being thrown out in an attempt to decide that fight quickly, but it just doesn't work out that way. The Gremlins still pressuring, but closer and closer to 16 now, and they should be able to pick this up. They should be able to get 16 for the next objective and then have a freebie, unless the Kings are really willing to risk this. So, that's going to be tricky. 21,000 damage for Falstad. He's the top damage dealer for the red team, whereas with 23,000 we have Samuro hitting the #1 spot, followed by a Tracer pretty closely. Yeah, ETC again, Chrysalis used. There's only 3 down here. Malthael and Falstad are missing. That means that Kerrigan goes down. Muradin jumps away. 16 talents are ready. Yeah, and this is where things are starting to fall apart a little bit. This is 1.5 levels down now for the red team. They lost another hero. 16 talents give the blue team a big lead. And the objective is free. This one's free. Despite the good early game that the Kings had, this is starting to really hurt. So they need to lock in that CC chain, and the blue team is just playing this too diligently. That's the problem. You need to connect the damage and then, well, this stuns the CC and then really unleash on the same target. If you do that, you can still get that kill. But with Falstad playing an absolute top-notch game and everybody else also having really good map awareness and not falling for any of those traps that are being set up for them, it's difficult. So the aggression at the top against Falstad, who also has a problem right now, so Samuro could cause some problems here. Then again, maybe Chromie is having some problem now. Nano, still fine. Falstad flies in, wants to help out. They get the Gust. Rhaegar with the Self-Ancestral. The birdie gets burned down by Chromie. Rhaegar on the run. He's going to make it out. The keep at the bottom of the map is losing hit points quickly, by the way, and is very likely going to get eliminated, especially now that Falstad's gone. Samuro is taking the fort out at the top. And this down here is, of course, going to fall. There's just too much going on. The Kings can't keep up with it all. They're absolutely overwhelmed here. They're losing too much. Keep is gone. Topside fort will be eliminated by Samuro. And the rest of the team is pushing through the middle. So it's a bit of a disaster. Falstad has 100 stacks now on level 1. But it just doesn't matter what they're doing here. They're not able to break through the blue team. Lots of structures now eliminated, which is of course also going to increase the passive experience gains that we're getting for the Gremlins. They're already nearly 2,000 points ahead on passive experience gains, and now that 2 more structures have been taken out, this is going to increase significantly. We got a massive difference in hero experience alone, of course. And yeah. Very, very curious if the red team finds an angle that they can play in order to bring this back. But let's be honest, right now it doesn't look like it. Falstad trying to fly down to help out here, but Brightwing is dead. Despite Falstad's best attempts, and the birdie just with a Sudoku move. Commits honorable Subaru, flying down to the bottom of the map, straight into the hands of Chromie, and Nano just says like, yeah, thanks, I'm gonna take that double kill. There is a reason why Nano's Chromie is banned out so regularly. And in this format, his Hanzo and some of his fallback options are already banned out, so of course they're going to first pick Chromie if they have a chance to do that. Nano and Chromie is insane. And teams are going to continue banning out Chromie against him. The one good news for the Kings is that Nano's not going to have access to Chromie in game number 2. But now we might see the game end right here. The keep in the middle is already getting obliterated. There's only 2 heroes that are currently defending. And they can start dishing out damage against the core itself. So, yeah, that's Mirrodin gone. Mirrodin got murdered. And they're zipping around the core, getting the damage in. 11 kills, 2-3. The Kings with a great start initially, but now the game is just falling apart for them. They're still trying to defend. Might be able to hold on to this for now. But the core is down to 47%, and just a few long-ranged attacks are going to finish the job. Level 20, Rhaegar even going for the pit fighter here. And this is it. The Gremlins with the lead in this series as they take the victory on Infernal Shrines. GG. We're going to head in game number 2 in a second. Guys, if you enjoy the content, if you like the coverage here, please subscribe to the channel and like the video. It really helps to spread the videos to people that were interested in Heroes of the Storm in the past and might rejoin the game. So spread the love a little bit, help to promote the games here, like and subscribe, and I hope that you enjoy the rest of the series. Towers of Doom, map number 2. We got the lead now for the Gremlins as we're heading into our second map. So 10 heroes have been played and cannot be played again. And now we have the Nameless Kings under a little bit of pressure here. That being said, the one thing that honestly, between games, triggered me the most, and this is basically just for YouTube. I was again trying to scroll through my friends list and I don't know. I've been playing a lot of mobile games again lately on the site. Obviously, I just released a couple of days ago also the Raid video, which I still play and have played for years. And the one thing that I love about all of these games that have a version on the PC is that you can basically scroll through screens, no matter what it is, by simply holding down your mouse and then scroll like you would on a phone with your hand, with your finger, right? So it's the same thing. It's the same principle. You have any kind of list, you have a chat, for example, or anything else, and you just like scroll with your finger up and down that list, and you can do it in most of these mobile games also by just holding down the mouse button and doing it that way. And it annoys the hell out of me that this isn't possible on basically every single program that you have on your PC. Why can't I use that in Discord, for example, to scroll through the chat, or in a browser to do the same thing, or in this case, in my friends list in Heroes? It's such an intuitive feature to have now, and it's 2025, and basically only mobile games that have a version ported over to a PC have that. Somebody pointed out in Twitch there's a Yu-Gi-Oh game that has the same thing for PC. Drives me up the wall. It's such an amazing quality of life feature for the people that use it. Why is that not added? That has to be in every single program, every single tool, just baseline right off the get-go. If you've ever experienced this, you play Raid or any other game, that Yu-Gi-Oh game, whatever it may be, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Happens to me all the time that I'm trying to scroll through Discord chat and then it's like, not supported right here. So, yeah. I can't be the only one that gets annoyed by this. Can obviously do this with other things. You have the scroll wheel, but sometimes you know that thing doesn't work properly. And it's just sometimes so much more intuitive to scroll up and down a little bit by using that, but yeah. Tyrael gets picked first, so we have a Tyrael first pick right now for game number 2, with the bans on Zeratul and Maiev still holding true, so Ubi is getting targeted. The Vikings ban makes me a little bit sad, but with Towers of Doom being in the map, it kind of makes sense. We get Cassia and Oriel, so very quick picks into those. Now with 11 heroes being pre-banned, there are still a lot of real meta heroes available, even in game number 2, but still, you have some adjustments already made, and in this case, it's currently Oriel that is one of the adjustments here. With Urel for the top lane now, we get Sylvanas as well. And I'm still a bit curious what specifically we're now getting from, let's say, Serath, for example. Mopsio, I would honestly... well, we might get a Garrosh again, now thinking about it. Still a bit of a surprise to me that on the last 2 times when we had Infernal Shrines, we didn't get one Tychus game, even in the context of all of the pre-bans that we have here. So, it's interesting. Malfurion. Scorch, very, very strong on Malfurion. So, seeing a ban here against Malf doesn't really shock me. Scorch had tournaments where he played basically nothing else but Malfurion, and he absolutely wrecked everyone in sight. So, totally crazy what kind of an impact he has with certain supports. So, yeah, they're shutting that down and eliminating it. I gotta also say, Gremlins, great performance in game number 1. I mean, kudos to how well they did there. That was insanely strong. Now, we get Zarya banned out. So no potential combo over here. And what are the next picks for the blue team right now? I mean, at this point, honestly, Nano, he played his Chromie already, so can't do that anymore. His Hanzo is banned out permanently. Cassia taken is another one that Nano could definitely play. But I'm also a bit curious what's going to happen when we have our best of fives. What he's going to play in the later matches, you know. We'll definitely have to deviate away from some of his typical picks. We get Serath on Leoric, and we have Diablo now taken. So Dibbles is in the house. That leaves us with our final 2 picks for the red team, who already have their front line locked in. And on top of that, we get, of course, Sylvanas. So a bit more bell tower pressure would be nice. And yeah, Morenas in particular, he's the one that we, of course, have to watch out for a bit. The extra damage. What are they going to take now? Yes, House of Doom. Biggest comeback map and a lot of scaling needed. Tyrande, okay, and Thrall. So triple front line again. Could get Judgment into a Tyrande stun. Plus the Hunter's Mark. That's most likely where a lot of that damage is going to come from. And it will definitely screw with Diablo a little bit when they make him the target. That brings us to our final pick for Nano. So as we're heading into Towers of Doom, the second map of the series. Another point is on the line. And the blue team relies currently on a strong front line. Nano likely with additional damage. And we're getting Kalthas. So we get Mage Power. Kalthas and more control through Gravity Labs for the Gremlins as we are heading into game number 2, Towers of Doom. Gremlins against Kings. It is party time once again. So here's the big opportunity right now for the team in blue to get another point onto the board. The Cassia play, or Cassia pick from Gavlo, very early in the draft. We have Nano and Kalthas for the added damage for the blue team. Sadath on Leoric. We got Mopsy on Diablo. And Banana Age with Oriel. Over on the right side, Ubi with Yrel. Ultralisk on Thrall. We got Scorch on Tyrande with Lunar Blaze. Gonna try and play that out together with Lopaka on Tyrael. And then Morenas with Sylvanas. So, can they leverage this? Is the red team able to get themselves a point here? As I said, they are basically playing for the #1 spot in the ranking right now. Because we have already had each team play 1 series. Oh, Nano. That was clutch. They nearly got a kill there, but now he gets turned on Ubi, and he's the one to fall instead. So, well done. Was very, very close. Kalthas was about to die, and they barely saved him. But they were able to pull it off, and then they turned it on the attackers and were able to take Yrel down. So, yes, nicely done over here. Another quick attack coming in against Ultralisk. Is that kill number 2? And nope, it isn't. So he at least is able to get away. Mopsio, he's not that lucky. So he's gone, and they can still invade the pumpkin camp. Mad aggression, actually, from the teams. They are not just going for their camps. Instead, we're having them attack, 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 attack. And that's a double kill, a triple in total for the Kings. And now the chance to steal the opponent's pumpkins, which is exactly what they're aiming for. I like it. Carnage galore here early on in the game. I mean, we've just passed the 1 minute mark and we already have 4 kills. But they have to also hurry if they want to take that. Yeah, okay. They barely take it. Mopsio, he could have charged in, I suppose. But didn't have his team behind him, so that could have backfired too quickly. So yeah, a bit of time has to be used here, but they're getting damage in on Yrel, on Oriel, and Oriel is gone. Banana dead for the 2nd time. They try and counter kill against Ultralisk, but trade kicks in and he's alive. This is starting to become a bit worrisome. Sadath attacked now too, but comes in to try and get that kill, and they are able to pick up Thrall. So, the craziness just continues. I mean, it seriously does. Look at this. 2 kills, 2-4, 6 kills, 2 minutes in. And they're just getting aggressive all over the place here. All the way to the mid lane. We have now Sadath pushing the lane out again. The blue team has the lead in experience because it just did a better job on minion experience. They were way more diligent on these waves. Top lane has been more or less abandoned by the Kings. They just go full brawl here. Look at the difference in minion XP. It's gigantic. It's absolutely massive. The Kings make up for it in the added experience that they get through mercenaries and hero experience, but yeah, they definitely went for a trade here. They said, we're going to be aggressive at the bottom of the map, we're going to get kills, and we're going to abandon a couple of minion waves in the process as a result. They want to go for Mopsio again. Whoa! That heal! The owl went in for a little bit of a smooch and gave Mopsio, gave Diablo a little hickey, but he still survived. So now we have a channel for each team at the top left and top right. That leaves us with one altar at the bottom of the map. Thrall getting stacks for his Frostwolf pack here. And Oriel seems to be able to... No, there's the owl. But the kill against Tyrael. They killed Serath too, though. So it's a kill for a kill, and the explosion straight onto Kalthas. 10 seconds until we're having Tyrael back to business, but Leo's going to respawn on side. And that gravity lapse, a work of art. Beautiful! They killed Diablo, though, and Tyrande survived it. But the channel has still happened. Morena's also low, but Diablo's getting farmed a bit, isn't he? They are taking Mopsio down, one hit at a time. Mopsio has died 2 times already. So has Oriel. So yeah, the two of them getting targeted pretty aggressively. And it seems like the teams are now calming down slightly, just a little bit, as they're going for their own camps and not immediately for the camp of the opponent. 15,000 damage for both Cassia and Sylvanas. And Thrall is nearly done with his quest. Yeah, if they can get some more stuns in. There it is. And bye-bye Kalthas. 10 kills, 4 minutes into the game. That's just crazy. And Thrall is now sitting at 5 stacks. And missed it! The whip ruined his stacking. Back to 0. Back to 0. Ultralisk got whipped in the face. And that reset his level 4 quest. He's not going to be happy about that. Not at all. That was annoying for him, for sure. 10 stacks also for Tyrande, which is pretty strong. I mean, that damage increase is starting to add up. Obviously, you're taking it more for the range than anything else, but if you are able to stack that solidly, then you still contribute quite a lot here. So, Tyrande is doing work. So far, also decent positioning. Scorch doing a great job on this. Slight advantage in experience now for the Nameless Kings. Diablo fully stacked. Where is Tyrande's damage actually? Yeah, 7,000. I mean, for the burst damage is still nice. But she's also very, very low here. And there's so much CC floating around. Double altar is up. Vertical spawns. Teams will definitely fight for that. Urel already coming in. The Space Goat. And is going to get the interrupt on Leoki at least. Doesn't even have to. Instead it's Tyrande again. But there's the gravity lapse on Tyrael. They want him and they get Kalthas. Kalthas is dead. And all of a sudden the numbers advantage for the Kings. But they're low on multiple heroes. And this is always the cost that they're playing with here. So they're jumping in on Oriel. She's alive. Banana. And yeah, that one was overripe anyways. So he's gone. So is Sylvanas. It's a bloodbath. 13 kills. What is this game? They have level 10 abilities now and they're leveraging them immediately. Leoki eliminated. He's gone. And the double channel for the Kings as they take 8 points off the core of the opponent. 28 to 32 now. Ball of Lightning or Ball Lightning for Cassia. Phoenix. Aegis of course for Oriel, but it is a wild game. It's an absolutely wild game. Both of the teams with some mad aggression here as they're not letting up in the slightest. They are just getting all out aggression into the game. Camp after camp gets attacked, invaded, fights are being forced. Red team with way more kills, but not that far ahead. The elastic is not broken here. Thrall gets killed. That's kill number 5 for the Gremlins. And, well, Nano gets targeted again. Nano is getting absolutely murdered, by the way, in the last couple of minutes. He doesn't have his level 1 quest completed yet, so that's a problem. Once that he has Mana Addict done, that's going to help a lot. Oriel, and yeah, with Tyrande in the game, once that you have an Aegis on you, you can already prepare for Tyrande's stun. It's definitely going to come through. But they're still trading kills. Oriel is gone, but so is Sylvanas. They're aiming for Cassia next, and Gavlo gets body blocked already. There's the next stun, and honestly, Tyrande just doesn't miss. 15 connects already in this game, 8 minutes into it. Scorch is crushing it. Scorch is absolutely murdering them here. Top spawn on the altars now. Judgment, of course. There's the follow-up for Tyrande. I don't even know why they go for Judgment here. It's not like he needs it. He's like, yeah, let them run, let them zigzag. I don't care. I'm gonna hit my stuns no matter what. I got this, boys. Believe. And so far, he definitely has. Hasn't died yet either. It's kind of funny. Tyrande is the only one in the entire game that hasn't died yet. Tyrande is the only one that hasn't fallen yet. With every other player, we're normally always highlighting how difficult it is to play Tyrande in this context because she just doesn't have the mobility and is very squishy. Now, a lot of the mobile characters have already been played or are permabanned in the tournament, so that gives her a little bit more leeway. But Scorch is just ripping them apart. Good gravity lapse here, though, and Tyrael is now in danger of being the next one to die. Oh! Tyrael tries to get away and finally falls. They really wanted that kill, and they deserved it, to be honest with you. Level 13. Ready for both teams now. 18 stacks already for Tyrande. Tyrande has more stacks than Tyrael has globes. 9 minutes in. And talking about globe stacks and globe talents, Mana Addict is still not completed. So this really is annoying for Khaldor, I can tell you that much. But they're trying again for the next kill. Banana! Yeah, he gets the assist and they're able to get out here. But what a game. What a massively aggressive game. The Kings won some points here. Yeah, they won some points in this one. So now over at the bottom left, another camp taken. They could still invade here, and they do. Diablo gets the wall stun. Sundering. They're fully committed to this. It's going to be a 5 versus 5. They're all jumping in for it. Who is going to get the kills first? Mopsio is low, but he's not the only one. Nice Entomb over the wall against Urel. She had her ult and uses it. Again, the stun on Diablo, and he's gone. He had the soul stacks. He will be back. But for now, they're missing him in the team fight, and that means that Khaldor is also getting targeted and killed. Sylvanas falls too. The counter kill. Ubi, bit low. So is Scorched. He might die for the first time here. Trying to keep himself alive. They all die. They all die. 26 kills. More than 2.5 kills per minute right now. With Thrall channeling the bottom of the map. Gavlo will interrupt. But what an unbelievable game here. So many kills, so much aggression. And funnily enough, not a big lead in experience for the Nameless Kings, considering that they're basically doubling the opponent's kill count. Yeah, still the drain, and the Entomb. The Ultra Barbecue over here, oh yeah. The swing by Leoric towards the end, the mace to the face as Leo swings for the fences and hits it out of the park. 10 kills to 17. Mopsio on the channel. And that's going to be 4 more shots fired. Down. Both teams on 24 points on the core now. What a game. What a game. 64,000 damage now for Cassia. 58,000 for Sylvanas. 5 deaths on both Oriel and Khaldor. But they have taken the lead. The blue team is massively behind in kills. I mean, massively. But they've taken the bell tower at the bottom of the map. And they've taken the lead. And now they just have to hold on to this at the bot lane. So the Gremlins, again, even though they are far behind in kills, they're doing great here. They put pressure on the opponent. And you can see it actually in the experience distribution as well. The gap in minion experience is gigantic. That makes up for how far behind they are in hero experience. So this is where the difference is. And of course also the structural advantage that we've been talking about. But, yeah, right now, it's all about trying to hold on to the bell tower at the bottom of the map. And Mopsio is gone. Mopsio's gone, but so is Thrall. Kills, again, as long as you get a counter kill, you're fine. They still want to fully commit to that bell tower conversion now. Sylvanas is moving in. Gavlo a bit isolated. And he's dead. Gavlo gets isolated. Lopaka is already on the move, on the run. But they're just brawling it out underneath that bell tower. There's minion waves here that soak up the shots, of course. But now Sylvanas is gone. Tyrande is gone. And they're going to aim for the rest of them. Oriel, she dies too. It's a 2 versus 2. And Nano is about to die. But there's no minion wave anymore. So now the bell tower is finally helping out in the battle. Sardath, yeah, he's not going to get that kill. Lopaka is going to be able to move away. We have 3 altars up on the map, and the bell tower count is still the same. Leo's getting 1. That's 5 shots fired already. And the blue team is going to aim for the top left. What a game. 34 kills. 5 shots fired against 3. If they get the one at the top, they will take a significant advantage here. Tyrael comes in. Tyrande, not there yet, but she comes through the tunnel now. Nice entomb. Wall's done. And, yep, Thrall is gone. And Lopaka makes it. No, he doesn't. Nope. Gavlo had him in his sights and didn't let him go. So now another 5 shots fired, and that drops them down to 14 points. A 7-point lead on the core for the blue team. The Gremlins, I mean, pretty amazing. The Kings played such a great series against Exodia in their first match of the round robin. But here, they are getting shut down by the Gremlins. The Gremlins are doing way too much work, and they always recover. They're still behind, heavily behind in the kill count, but they control the bigger amount of bell towers. They have better points on the core. They're just doing overall way better than the opponent's team. 82,000 damage now from Cassia. 69 from Sylvanas. Nice. Yeah, and in the meantime, still the attempt to push a few more pumpkins through the bot lane. And it could lead to more kills. Pumpkins are getting attacked here, but the blue team is looking for some hits. The Entomb missing though. The Entomb misses. They're still nibbling on the sides. Kalthas is on 60,000 damage himself. Now Leo's still in the middle. Obviously still continuing the rotation here. 5 deaths on Thrall, but you look over to the blue team and we have 6 deaths on both Kalthas and Oriel. So they're trying to take him out whenever they can. So, yeah, right here. Next attack. And Judgment. Cassia's gone. Banana H. He's gonna die too. Has his Aegis up, but he's gonna die. Bam. Gets pancaked by Oriel. By Yrel. As Yrel jumps in, she kills Oriel. And Mobster is now dead too. It's a triple, baby. They're getting a triple They're getting a triple kill. The blue team is level 20, and it doesn't mean anything because they just lost 3 of their heroes. And the Nameless Kings now have momentum. This might be the comeback right here. They're finally going to get the bell tower reconverted at the bottom right of the map. They can take the altar. The only other question is, what do they do with the advantage that they have? I suspected for a second that they might go for boss, but they don't. But they should go for the channel. I guess Sylvanas is going to be the one that takes it. Oh! Hellgate! Saving Opsio. Without Hellgate, he would have died. But he has his 20, uses it, and jumps out of the fight. Shots fired, and all of a sudden it's 17 points to 14. It's gonna be a close one. It is gonna be a really close one here. We're now 16 minutes into the game. Big Inspire minion push at the bottom of the map, dropping the entire wall. No chance. Leo already ghosting out. He was in trouble there for a moment. Judgment has been upgraded, by the way. Where's Tyrande now on her damage? She's on 30,000 damage. Yeah, she actually hasn't... She doesn't have all that much compared to, let's say, Oriel, for example. The two of them are playing this out on eye level. I really thought with all of the stacks that we're getting for the level 1, that might have more of an impact. I mean, it still has an impact in the sense that that burst damage that you can contribute through it is quite significant in helping you to get kills. Oriel is having real troubles here, and Banana H needs to try and stay alive somehow, but it's obviously tough. So once again, here comes the stun. Coming in against Lopaka. Yeah, again, Aegis on Oriel. Banana H is low, but this time alive. This time they can't get the kill. Leoric is about to fall and gets killed. Tyrande with a beautiful snipe. And that's Diablo likely gone after they just killed Oriel too. So they're going for Gavlo. And he gets dropped. Tyrael eliminated, but big, big plays. And that is a 5-man team wipe. The entire team gone, and that's the big one. In case that you wanted a quick replay from one of the last games, that is that. That was actually the previous series. Like, if you are mean, you could say that the broadcaster just pressed the wrong button, but there is a chance, and I'm going with this, that subconsciously I really thought that you should watch that play again from the previous series, because it's just such a contrast to what we're seeing here, with now 45 kills in total. And big shots being fired. I mean, that is now 7 points on the core. And they're going to get another 4 by simply getting the boss at the top. I was actually wondering if they might be able to go for the barrage or something. But not really the case. They have them down to 3 points now, which means that one single channel is going to be all that they need. So, top side, yep, that's going to be the end of the bell tower. So, more and more pressure on the Gremlins. I mean, this is really the opportunity for the Kings to put a point onto the scoreboard. We got 90,000 damage for Sylvanas. Cassia is in the 6-digit club with 100,000 damage now. Pumpkins are taken, and well, this is obviously going to be what potentially even ends the game. So the Gremlins will have to react to that top lane very, very quickly. Reclaiming the bell tower at the bottom of the map helps to establish a bit more bot lane control. But that's all that you can do with it, because, again, one altar channel is all that's needed. But we have a single altar spawning next on the map, and both teams have level 20 talents. So, despite the fact that the red team is now massively ahead, the Gremlins are not out of this yet. We're going to see even fights. The kill count still blows me away, by the way. This is crazy. Absolutely crazy. Judgment! They want the kills again. Sundering! And bye-bye banana. Oriel is dead. That was not the pick, and this is it. This is game. This is game right here. They retake the bell tower again. 3 heroes are gone. The altar spawning in a couple of seconds. And, well, that's just that. Nicely done. Great job by the Nameless Kings. They're really making a name for themselves here. Khaldor is dead too. The channel is about to start. That's 33 kills to 16. We nearly have 50 kills in this one. But it is the red team that puts a point onto the board for themselves right now. So, nicely done. We're going to game number 3, but that was a really, really cool second map between the two teams here. GG, and well played. Coming up next, we have game number 3 for you guys. Before we go, a big shout out to everybody that is supporting the channel on patreon.com/Khaldor. Really appreciate the support, guys. Thank you very, very much. If you want to support the channel, if you want to support our efforts to keep the Heroes of the Storm esports scene live with all of the events and tournaments that we're hosting, then please consider to check out patreon.com/Khaldor and support the channel there. It's the best way to support all of the things that we're currently doing for the scene and plan to do in the future. With that being said, enjoy the next game of the series. Third map, Garden of Terror. Alright, let's go. We have 31 heroes that are unavailable right now, 20 that were played, and then the 11 that are banned completely for the tournament. It's going to limit the pool a bit. Still plenty around that the teams can pick, so it's not going to get too crazy. But it could get a bit more interesting, since Terror, or Garden of Terror, is obviously a map that would lean towards some sneaky picks as well, at least potentially. We have Zeratul banned out again. I'm wondering if Maiev is going to get banned again. Unless they want Maiev for themselves, they're going to ban her out here. If they don't ban Maiev now, then they are clearly looking for Maiev first pick. And you know what? They might actually. Yeah. They have first pick, first ban right now, so they banned Ubi Zeratul. So far the pattern has held the entire time. And they banned Maiev, but I think they might want her for themselves if they get that opportunity. So, Illidan gets banned instead. That's actually not okay. The potential Illidan pick, given to me. And now, basically, the Kings have to decide if they want to get rid of Maiev or if they are okay with her potentially being taken here. So, that's a choice that they have to make. Now, if they... the chances that they're not banning Maiev and the blue team don't take her is very, very slim. But they're banning Vikings instead. So Maiev is now open as a first pick. I mean, if the Gremlins don't take her, the Kings would have definitely locked her in immediately. So, there it is. The Maiev, first pick choice. They just didn't want to go up against the Vikings. It's another big map and they didn't want to risk it here. So, instead they're letting them have Maiev. which Khaldor is very, very happy to play here. And now the Kings have to really figure out, okay, what are we going to now do? Keep in mind that we actually saw already games with Abathur and Garden of Terror. You could play Abathur for sure. You could definitely go for a bit of an Abathur game here. Scorch gets this Malfurion now. Fantastic performance on Tyrant on the last map, but as highlighted before, the Malfurion ban in the last game didn't come out of nowhere. Scorch is kind of known for his Malfurion performance, and together with Garrosh, you can obviously always get that throw into the roots of Malfurion and lock a target down. Need that damage behind it to capitalize on it, but yeah. Now, that gives us, for their opponents, for the blue team, after they started to lock in Maiev, we now get Mal'Ganis, and we got Gul'dan. So Nano is still on his mage shenanigans here. He played Chromie in the first game, Kalthas in game number 2, and now we have him on Gul'dan, with Mal'Ganis being played at the front. Lots of mobility, can put the opponent like literally to sleep and set the team up. But that brings us to the final bans for game number 3, and therefore also for the series here. So after the Vikings got eliminated, they're getting rid of Uther. I'm still a bit curious what the idea for the red team is. Ultralisk is gonna look for something aggressive, and the same is also true for Morenas. But they banned a few of the assassins out already. It's gonna be a butcher game, clearly. It's a shame that Tigers gets banned. I love that Tigers and Garrosh combo lately, and typically you don't see it too early. But now that we're in game number 3 and we have the pre-bans as well, that makes more sense. This is something that all of a sudden, you know, starts working. But yeah, Tigers is taken out. You still, if you really insist on auto-attacking, you can still go Zul'jin. But they go Zul and Greymane. Alright, Zul with lots of wave clear can rotate between the lanes. And yeah, try and take the minion waves out. Ultralisk still hasn't chosen though. Could yeah. I don't think that we're going to get Abathur, but it would be kind of fun. Having that double Greymane going ham again in the team fights. Banana needs to support. His Oriel did definitely not work out in game number 2. That was just free XP for the Kings, and now they go Artanis, and we have a Whitemane. Alright, so with the side laners, Artanis is now becoming an option for them, so they go for him. We have a triple front line, Maiev, Artanis, Mal'Ganis, and then Whitemane for the heals, which leaves us only with Ultralisk on the side of the Nameless Kings. So let's see what they want to do here. With Greymane, they have good damage already that they can also use to drop anyone that gets thrown over by Garrosh, but they want more burst, and that comes in the form of Li Ming. Garden of Terror, the final map in this series. Who locks in a second point? We're going to figure that out right now. Gremlins against Kings. Everybody wants that second point now. And over on the left side for the blue team, we have them starting things up with Khaldor on Maiev. We're getting Banana H on Whitemane. Nano on Gul'dan, Mopsio on Mal'Ganis, and Artanis gets played by Setup. On the right side of the map, Lopaka playing Garrosh. We currently got Morenas on Greymane, Ubi on Zul, Scorch on Malfurion, and Ultralisk. Looking for the resets, looking for the quick kills, looking for that burst damage with Li Ming. So, who's taking it here? Whichever team wins this one is at least temporarily going to be the #1 in the standings. Yeah, the swap, and that's the kill, maybe? Can they take Garrosh down? They definitely get close. Lopaka, yeah, he gets away. Too many heals coming in. Oh, Maiev also had to be mega careful here. Nearly fell. We now get the Protector of Aya for Artanis on level 1, so he's trying to work that auto attack damage in a little bit. I mean, in this context, in the context of a Meta Madness, of a full Meta Madness format, Artanis is definitely getting more value now. Lots and lots of side laners have been played or are pre-banned, so that thins out the herd, and eventually Artanis becomes an option. Mopsio gets a globe down here. It's going to be fine on that. And it's just going to be a bit of a question on how well Zetas can also stack his level 1. I personally really would love this to be just a bit more. Give him like 0.15% damage or something. Just something. Like, increase it just a little bit, see if that has an impact, see if that helps. If it doesn't, boost it up to 0.2. And this might be something that really makes Artanis a bit more viable, just generally, not only if this many other side laners have been eliminated before the draft. So, would be kind of cool. I think they should really tweak those numbers a little bit. We'll see if they do that in the future. For now, that's not really the case, but that approach would be very, very good. Gul'dan, talking about stacks, is working on his Fellflame build. Camps, obviously, very important. This is where specifically Greymane shines for the red team. For Liming, we got Triumph right now. We have Reaper's Toll over here for Zul, the old man. And down at the bottom of the map, they're trying to make a bit of a play for... First of all, Mopsio, but then Gavlo heroically throws himself into the path of Liming's damage and is able to get out, but Banana Age was also low. Everybody is getting a bit low here. They are really taking a small beating from the Kings in that team fight. So the first seed is now spawning, but they took damage down here and still do. A couple of cocktails being thrown out by Greymane help as well. In comes the root, and Nano is still alive. No first blood yet, but we're getting close. Especially, of course, when we're talking about someone like, well, Malfurion just locking them down time and time again. Artanis all the way up at the top is currently at 16 stacks. So again, works some auto attacks in. We have Maiev. Oh, Gavlo. Okay, he's able to get away here. Or is he? He might actually still be dead. And he is dead. Gavlo's dead. Gavlo goes down. Artanis gets rooted, and Greymane is immediately on him, and I think this is going to be the end of Setath. Setath is not going to be able to survive this. So Artanis becomes the punching bag that he always was meant to be. He's gone, fulfilling his purpose, and that leaves us now with 2 kills to 0 in favor of the Kings and a level 7 talent. To be honest, the Kings started game number 1 like this, and then it fell apart on them. But they are looking a lot better right now. We'll see if for the Gremlins, game number 1 was just a lucky fluke, and now the Kings are just back in their full force here. But currently, it is the red team that is just playing this out a little bit better. We're very early in the game, so it's not really doesn't matter too much. But after we have level 10 abilities and the dynamic starts to solidify a bit, we'll see. Another play for Gavlo, and that is Maiev gone again. Artanis wants a piece of the action, and he's not the only one. Greymane is on the run, but Mopsio shows no mercy. Comes in and gets the kill. So they're trading kills here. Again, Artanis getting attacked. He has now 45, 46 stacks. These little brawls that we're now seeing are of course helping Setath to also stack his level 1 quest a little bit more and trying to work that auto attack damage in. Down at the bottom of the map in the meantime, we're having Gul'dan just reigning supreme. Nano is taking full advantage of him being alone on lane. So is able to take this out with ease. And on top of that, camps claimed, but Greymane is alone. Morenas, they want him. They want at least the camp. Ah, there's the swap. He's still trying to get out and might be able to, but Malfurion is too far away. Or is he? Yeah, it seems like he's not. Morena survives and they haven't even taken the camp yet. Instead, Nano becomes the target. What the hell is happening? They're invading the camp, trying to take Greymane out, and instead it's Gul'dan that falls. Mopsio goes for the Siege Giants and at least gives them that. It would have been a total loss without him doing it. Gul'dan gone. The fight not over. Everybody's still battling it out here. But it's a 5 versus 4 now, and it seems like Mopsio is going to pay for that Siege Giant steal. So Mal'Ganis is indeed getting eliminated. Gavlo is able to jump away, but Whitemane, she has no chance. Was trying to run away from the fight. Not happening. 6 kills to 1 and an early level 10. They're 1 level ahead right now. And just as a bit of a side note, even the first seed has not been taken yet. Even seed number 1 has not been claimed. So 6 kills to 1. Another quick flip here. This time against Artanis again. But Garrosh created more trouble than all of this was worth. And is the one that falls. Both teams now on heroic abilities. And still nobody dealing with the Garden Terrors. Now keep in mind, the Garden Terrors in general have a little bit more hit points. Kind of makes up for the fact that the structures also have more hit points. Because, again, the recent patch buffed the numbers. Amongst other things, of course. But Garden Terrors also scale harder into the late game now. which is kind of important. So if you get those late game garden terrors, you are gonna do work. Right now, talking about damage and doing work here, we have 17,000 for Greymane. He's the top dog, the top wolf in the game. 10,000 for Artanis. Yeah, he's been farming this a little bit and is currently trying to contribute here. He's working in more auto attack damage. Garrosh low, Whitemane dead again. Second time for her to fall, and now the liability has been dropped too. Artanis is gone, and it is just a reign of terror from the red team. 8 kills to 2, but they've lost their experience advantage, and with a push down at the bottom map against the fort, the blue team is starting to, again, pull a bit ahead on structures, or at least trying to. So Ultralisk is coming in with Li Ming and is shutting that down, but that's 50% of the HP gone. Ubi is trying at the top lane to draw even with the team. Him sticking around maybe for another second or two and trying to get the Inspire buff going might work. Is able to work a couple of attacks in, so good for him. Movement speed and the attack speed for all the minions increases immediately as they are inspired, but Gul'dan is back and has the wave play to stop that in its tracks, so not a lot of damage done just yet. Mopsio on the run over here. Mopsio just trying to get away, but they can force a few more fights, obviously. It's quite interesting though. It's all about team fights right now. Nobody has really made any plays for the seeds yet. They are essentially getting fully ignored. But we have one battle after another as teams are fighting for the lanes. Banana H in particular gets targeted very reliably as he has a problem getting out of these fights. Greymane jumps in, dodges the Horrify. Nice, well done. That's a big cooldown burn by Gul'dan. 104 stacks now for Artanis. I mean, again, he's getting the auto attack damage in. Just hasn't really helped his cause too much yet. At level 13, we have him now with a Graviton Vortex. Disc on Zul. They try to follow that up with the rest of the team. Not quite there yet. And it's again, Whitemane that gets attacked. But they're turning it this time. Banana H, though, he's still low and he falls once more. They are just going for him. Game number 2, game number 3, the main target is the support on the blue team side, and they're absolutely crushing this. Gavlo barely escapes. It's actually a miracle how often he's able to get out of these fights, with basically 0 hit points. Mopsio, on the other hand, is not able to mirror that performance and falls. So that's Greymane with 3 kills in the last team fight alone. And they're trying to go for Nano now too. Greymane, he's ripping them a new one here. In comes the final attack, and that is Gul'dan dead as well. So yeah, job well done. Lots of aggression, lots of experience now, so the hero XP. Ubi is pushing the top lane and is getting value right here against the fort. Might be able to take the entire thing down. The seat has now also finally been claimed. We're nearly at the 10-minute mark, and it took a long time for them to go for the objective. But the seat has indeed been taken, so the Nameless Kings take the lead on the objective. 12 kills to 2. Top fort has fallen. It's the first fort to get destroyed. And Greymane and Sylvanas, Greymane and Li Ming are now dishing out mad damage at the bottom of the map. Inspire buff on the minion wave. They have the mercenary camp pushing here. So this fort is losing HP quickly. Down to 50% already as the disconnects with Malfurion. Finally they're locking Scorch down. But there's the interrupt against the potential swap. Well done by Ultralisk. Stopping Artanis instantly. Right in his tracks. And now with the next seed spawning, the red team can go for seed number 2. Gul'dan, the top damage dealer on the blue team. Li Ming and Greymane are dominating the game on the damage numbers and also the kills that they were able to get so far. 12 kills, 2-2, and we now have level 16, so it's a talent advantage on top of everything else. Yeah, and my F is gone, so that's kill number 13 for them. And of course now that bottom fort's fate is sealed. They are not going to be able to defend this given the circumstances. Level 16 talents, that gives us also the Lord of his pack. And we get Mirror Ball, another fort destroyed. And Zul is even pushing the bot lane further. They have that seed that they could always fall back to, but there's still more camps that they can steal, and that's exactly where they're headed next. So, stealing the bottom siege giant camp. And Zul is taking now the plants out. Can gather this one easily. 11 minutes on the board, second seed taken. This is creating way more pressure than the Gremlins are going to be comfortable with. And it's really a weird spot to be in, because game number 1, when you think about it, the Gremlins, they really turned the entire game around and dominated it. And from then onwards, we just had more and more problems there on the other side. So, yeah, over here, subjugation, fell armor in. With 16, we now also have the Crepify for Zul. And another 4 destroyed. So that 16 versus 13 talent lead really, really helped the Kings. Now it's even playing ground again. But they're still trailing by more than a level. So it's dangerous one way or another. And the next seed is now spawning at the bottom of the map. Camps are about to be claimed. Blue team hopes to be aggressive here. They want fights. They want fights right now when they have level 16 as well. And they're going for Lopaka, Horrify, and that probably... No, maybe it didn't do it after all. I thought Garrosh was gone, but he isn't. Instead, Mopsio will die. Mopsio is gone. The rest of the team is getting chased. Nanon Gul'dan is a bit low. Another combo attempt from Li Ming. Big heals. Greymane, are they going for the kill? They're looking for it. They're looking for the flank. They're looking for the play. Can they isolate another hero here? They can take Whitemane down, that's for sure. So that's the healer gone again. Gul'dan is gone. And the punching bag gets isolated too and murdered. Full 5-man team wipe. They got everybody. Greymane is just an absolute murder monster at this point. Morenas is so unleashed, it's not even funny anymore. That guy is just on the warpath. He comes in and rips their throat out over and over again. They're diving behind the wall to take the keep apart. The only one that is coming to the rescue potentially is Mal'Ganis, and Mopsio is at this point probably at full tilt. So the keep is gone. They're taking the tower out. There's still a seat at the bottom of the map that they could aim for and try and grab. But they're attacking the middle, trying to open up another wall. Greymane, not even top damage in the game. Li Ming with 43,000. But yeah, it's just ridiculous. They are crushing this. Absolutely crushing this. The Nameless Kings. They want to put themselves on the throne here. Get that #1 spot, at least temporarily, after their performance against Exodia in the first round of the round robin. There's the Garden Terrors. Garden Terrors and another camp at the top. So now they can aim for what? Mid lane pressure, bot lane pressure? Which keep do they want here? Top side has to be attacked, of course, or defended. I mean, right now they're actually going top. Seems like they're trying to go for a core. They're taking another minion wave down in the middle. This is going to be an automated push one way or another. But with the top lane already losing a couple of hit points, they're aiming for the middle. They're trying to take the keep out and make that easy. Mad lead in kills, of course, with that performance from the red team. 18-2, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be extended right here, right now. Garden Terror at the bottom has already been defended. The one at the top is moving towards the corner, starting to take the shield out. With the mid lane keep, they're getting destroyed. Level 20 in their hands too. They have all the cards in their hands, and they're going to leverage all of that power to go for a game and lock in a second point in this series. The core losing its shield. Artanis is gone, and that is victory. The Nameless Kings, they're taking down the Gremlins. 2 points for the red team, 1 for the Gremlins, as we have this series end on Garden of Terror with a glorious victory for the Nameless Kings. Nicely done, really well played. GG.